Okay, so this is going to be the last chat for this residency. And I started rolling the camera.
Yes, I'm ignoring Naoto and you guys for a second.
So now I have this quick. I'm going to close the door actually. I'm not a talkative person, but so I rarely talk a lot. But somehow this dinner I was talking a lot. Well, having a conversation, and it's quite loud. Dining room, so my voice is kind of dying. Yeah. Quickly aging here. Some poets of the 1970s. The body keeps the score. This is like funny drawing. I don't know if you can see it, but somehow it looks like, reminds me of Pokemon, like Eevee, like one of those evolved Eevee or something.
Okay, hello.
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 Oh. Now we're back.
Yes, I was arranging a gig like the lights in this place in Funke in Ghent. That is an amazing place. It's unique of its kind in Ghent. With this, we create this light design with light designers from Leipzig. And yeah, so that will be great. I will be doing some curatorial processes there where I invite light designers to work with me there. That looks like something super cool for me as a light designer.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's well paid.
I spent some, like 2 months in Leipzig.
Ah, yeah?
I know some artists. I mean, I know friends are like doing sound mostly.
I don't even know where is that. That's Germany?
Leipzig, yeah. Like east. 1 hour south of Berlin.
Shall I read something? Just because I just opened this book.
Yeah.
So it says, "The nothing is perfect, an unpleasant woman, the nothing is perfect, an unpleasant woman said on television tonight. I should think on my stink. That the next person you turn to might be the only one you will ever have a chance to love more than yourself. That a statue is not a fiesta. That snow makes so little noise. That a car goes by, slows down, stops, back up. Pauses, the motor ringing, and drives off. It is midnight and October in America. The small towns are left to the leaves." That was part of a quickly aging here, some poets of the 70s.
Yeah. Actually, you heard it before because I just read the title.
Ah, okay. So this is part of a poem by Dennis Trudell.
Okay. Yeah. That's kind of maybe not reminds me, but so there was the meetings. Like meeting opened yesterday, and the spring meeting was happening today.
Today we have the first session. Yeah, for 3 hours where Georgia, I don't remember her last name, was giving a talk, was sharing some practice. I think I won't go too deep in that because I'm not sure if I completely understand what she was speaking, so I rather don't say that much.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say anything. I left at some point. I mean, also she acknowledged that you can be in and out or walking around, things like that.
Yeah,
so
I fall asleep, yeah.
I mean, yeah, so she also said you can fall asleep.
Oh, it's good.
So, can't
I was waiting for a while. Answering some emails.
But today was a productive day. Like besides that, we did pricing, pricing.
Yeah,
packages.
So good.
And now we have like new ideas. Can we say it? Yeah.
Yes, of course, because it's already published.
Exactly. No. Like because then that was a published one, but then after that we talked about the other ideas.
The one afterward we really spoke about motion capture business.
But then what are we doing with motion capture?
Yeah, and it was based on this project that I have to do for the school. That it was part of this class of entrepreneurship, where the project of a semester was creating a company based on all the all the bureaucratic steps that you need to take and make it realistic and basically work with numbers.
Right. Yeah. So how much money you need to really start the business and
how long it takes you to... because basically a business proposition is about like what is the key value proposition. So that's the first thing. Then you need basically to ask for money. So then you speak about numbers. After you say to somebody like, this is the proposal, this is the unique opportunity, then you say like, this is the money that I need for this incredible proposal, and this is the way how I'm gonna use your money. In my business plan, I will break even in this time, and then you do a call to action, and that's. But I was sharing with Naoto this project that I have to do.
And then there's the different packages, like small package, medium one, large one. And in the last chat, I talked mostly about the large package, I think. But then we were discussing what would be the smaller ones and.
We didn't close that conversation. We stayed quiet for some time because I mentioned to Naoto the idea of this proposal. So it was called like Serious Move, and it was a motion capture company that basically proposed there were two focus on production. There was one like creating content for 3D content in a way, I guess, motion capture 3D content, and the second one was creating installations, and that was open. And then I started asking me like, which kind of installations? But then during the chat, what was acknowledged in my research also was part of the research was clear that there was like one of the more rapid growing industry is the music industry in this field, because they use and they will use more and more CGIs, so computer generated imaginary, and 3D images and motion capture, and also because this is becoming more and more accessible. Before it was only possible for companies with a lot of budget,
like Hollywood kind of thing.
Now you can do that with just little uses. You can do with fairly. You can do that good stuff with some decent budget. But then we were talking of. Yeah, like Naoto was like question me like, or we were just like going back and forth with what is the price basically. Like we were creating different scenarios, no?
Yeah.
We were creating different scenarios, yeah.
Because it depends on. Well, I don't know if that's the scenario. I mean, yeah, there are so many variables, like client-wise, also like what technologies we use, and they're like all variables. So we have to like. So for me, it was easier to see like other examples, like other artists in like let's say media art who's working for this kind of like music videos, for example. Unfortunately we don't know the price, but I think it's good starting point to situate where we are and what kind of like band or artist we can kind of target.
Yeah, like one. What was it? That I was sharing about this idea of what was it? So one of the things that basically, so all of these are variables, right? But one thing that is for sure is that this way that we are talking here is somehow like what I call like best practices Budo. That we are saying like we need to find more a catchy name for that. But so far that's how I call it. And this involves all the process that we did and we publish in YouTube. All these processes that will be available for you guys like to check these things, which I think is very useful because as I shared with Naoto when I started working with these things, like it was very like information about these things are not easy to find. So I will, if back then I would have found videos like this one about it, that will feel very grateful. So one thing that we could agree is that a part of the variables, so there are variables, was that at some point we need to start basically working. So because we don't have the work as duo in these kind of things, but we have scattered experiences in different fields. Individual, which I think is good also because like Naoto has worked a lot doing technical stuff. I work as BJ, DJ, art director, marketing, content creator, different things. So I think that we have complementary skills for these jobs. But as a duet and in this specific field, which is it's a design agency in a way, that search for clients to provide a service or a product, we need to basically be trusted by some, say, band to create their next single. So this is something that we agree that will be at some point somebody will give us opportunity, and then we have to see. That was part of the numbers. Like Naoto was asking me, trying to put a concrete scenario. How much will that be? And taking into account all these variables that we just spoke. But then one thing that we agree, that's what I'm trying to say, is that this is something to consider in terms of pricing. That people need to trust in us, and that will. Comes to that means money basically, that we have to negotiate and basically lower the price, certainly in the first times until we get some trust and from the clients.
Trust or more like portfolio basically, like what
exactly
works with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because basically the portfolio is trust. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, and these digital agencies, like you see, for instance, with like Add Some Noise that I work, then there's like digital agencies. They like portfolio is. That's the first thing you will see. Like there's the presentation reel, is there's something that they update every month, and they're really. That's the thing. And they're super short. Like I think it's like 1 minute, less than 1 minute, and it's so. It's very dynamic with all these things, Yeah.
Yeah, like we also like started making a mood board for these things, like what other artists are doing. I just came up with another Japanese artist who's working a lot with music videos, quite often with music videos. Baku, he's super good, like he's super talented.
The one who was doing this like processing kind of.
No. I didn't show you.
Okay.
Like, I just came up like he's actually he was studying at SFPC, the School for Poetic Composition. So like Zach was his mentor, Baku's. His practice is really interesting. Like he uses Houdini, and
nice.
So he's like. He makes like super nice visuals, but like also based on like algorithmic models, and it's very like nice balance of aesthetics and complexity.
That's what I found cool from Houdini. Houdini allows you to really like it's a programming language.
so I'll add him to the list. I mean, I'm nothing compared to him, but just as a reference.
Yeah, Houdini is one of these things, like when you, because now I'm following this thing, Houdini and Touch Designer. There's a long course that is still, I think it just finishes in August. So it was running from January to August.
Wow.
A long course, and then you basically go, the whole idea I think is called like completely understanding of generative procedural. And then you go through Houdini and Touch Designer passing, and then at some point also you pass Redshift, different render engines, like to really have an insight of how these things work in a low level. But then through in this process that I didn't follow, I think maybe it's just 5% of the course. Something that it was clear to me is like this thing is all about pipelines. And then how once you understand how the pipelines work, then basically then you start like piping differently these things, and then the way how you work between Houdini and Touch Designer. But yeah, Houdini is, I would just to say that Houdini seems. I think if you understand something like Houdini, then it gives a lot of flexibility of the things that you can do with that. Not only rendering high-end images, but then use it in different ways.
Yeah, it's very procedural.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I find. It's like a really interesting like balance, or like really like two, like like really on the edge of this procedural like crazy mathematical model, but also it's not like processing kind of minimal thing, but you can go to like this rendering stuff that you can pursue both at the same time. And the interface is quite like, it's node based.
It's node based.
Yeah.
It's exactly. It's from the derivative.
Well, it's where deviated,
and then create Touch Designer. But then it's like if you have working both, or Houdini and Touch Designer, then like they use the same names for things. But the difference is like, let's say for the blue node in Touch Designer, which is about 3D images, 3D content, that is called, the blue in Touch Designer is about 3D objects.
Okay.
Top
or chop or whatever.
Yeah, this chop, I think it's not, chop is for data, top is for images. Anyway, it's the blue one. But then the same, say from the like for primitives, you have I think a very just little I don't know, point, dot, sphere, torus. There are a few ones. I know a bunch, few ones. But then if you open that in Houdini, it's endless. It's really long the amount of primitives that you have. I like that in different things. Yeah, I think for like maybe with this we close the Touch Designer thing, but from what I understood with Touch Designer is that Touch Designer is this, if you really understand how to use it, that I would like to use it more in that way. It works as a media server and something that allows you to. It's like a Swiss knife that allow you to connect actuators, and then it has already plugins to work with Unreal, Unity. I don't think Unity, but Unreal. Notch, Houdini. So although it has the capability for working in 3D images, and people use it like that, and particle systems and things like that, that's the way how I learned it. It's just basically it's a media server that you can use. Yeah. Okay, and that was what I would have to say about derivative. I don't know if you want to say something.
Regarding this, now I started to really wonder if the camera is actually capturing you, because it's really weird. It is capturing, but it's probably, this would be nicer. Sorry, but you are in the frame all the time, at the close edge. What I want to say is, I'm curious, it's not something we define now, but what would be the workflow let's say we make a video, a music video, and probably we will establish some kind of workflow and how it's going to be like, because in practice we naturally, well, we kind of found it, you know, like we open Live Lab, we have OBS, we do Hydra, but then everything is like VDMX, and it's like whatever. But I guess if we do like music video, it's going to be a bit more.
But it's
not defined, but you know.
But I think it's interesting because, like, for instance, when Naoto was showing, like, sharing this idea, like, with the business proposals, then he was saying, like, development, and he was like, open frameworks development. And that's something that is cool because I work with that, and it's something that I would like to work again. And I guess, naturally, I guess I will go more driven to these node-based interfaces. And I guess that will be a process where I guess we have to go back and forth within, I mean, say you have your workflow and then you have more code-based things, and I have my flow where it's more node-based, and depending on what you're doing or what I'm doing also, at some point I have to understand what you're doing. And so it will be interesting, like this, the speculation is very exciting. Like how to deal with these things. Could be very stressful also because it could be very stressful. Like to deploy something. Like the first show would be stressful. I mean.
Well, if it's a music video, you know, we have to render video.
Yeah.
Somehow. I don't know how, but.
Yeah, but it's a post-production thing. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a completely different game if you're just like real time. There is not actually that somebody was telling me, like some of the teachers connected to EHB at some point was saying, somebody was like acknowledging me, they were saying like, wow, you're in such a role these days, you're in role. Things that are happening in my career, my first professional career. And one of the things that the guy was saying was acknowledging, saying that something about like the real time, because that's something that I really want to do because it comes natural to me because of dance, I guess. Like the real time aspect of data, or the real aspect of working with these systems. And that's not something that not necessarily many people will do, because also there is you're more vulnerable for things to go wrong, because it's live. Rather than you will find more people working in post-production for VJs or content creators who create their content. So basically they just post-produce a video, and then maybe sometimes they will use those videos in gigs. But the generative production of this content is not something that many people will do.
True.
Even VJs who create this content in that way, they won't risk to do that.
Loop,
yeah.
That is like mixed and the effect is added in the video loops.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, even though they can create, because a VJ that's something that I learned, is that within VJ community, like, you respect like somebody when they can create their content, because you can buy packages, but what they're very often these VJs, like Peter is a VJ and he creates very much of his content and it's generative, and that's something that you respect within VJs. Somebody who can create his own content, but it's still like that. It's like a standard that people won't create generative content within a gig. They will create their content in post production, or they will just do the edition of a video. They will just create this content and then they will use it as a video in a bunch of videos as a loop.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was the performance, probably like 20 minutes with a musician friend well, no longer a friend. I mean, that's the long story.
Okay. We don't know.
We did the residency together, and we made the performance. And I coded everything in processing. But yeah, doing this for 20 minutes in processing only, it's just hell. Like I was like after that.
And live. That was live.
Yeah. And yeah, after that I was like, I'm not gonna do this again. It's just like so much work, and what's difficult I found with processing or like this like really like generative like code based images is like it's so boring that see the image, okay, 3 seconds, you get it. So like it's just boring. And then VJ software, you have all kinds of effects that you can make it look interesting, although not many things are happening.
Yeah.
That's my impression.
Yeah, of course.
So, I mean, in the end, I had to do the same thing. Basically, it's a processing, but adding shaders and so that and it's timed, so it makes like images. But these things I have to build by myself, and then all kind of presets, cues, and it's like basically making the VJ software by myself.
by coding, by the coding, yeah.
No. I mean, it was nice. I mean, I'm really proud of it. I mean, I could. Still I feel like this part was more repetitive and kind of could be better or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I was happy about it. But at the same time, I was like, no, I'm not going to do this again because it's just so much work, and you just show it once. And,
yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I don't know if I want to do it again. But what I want to say? Just a response to what you said.
About Touch Designer. What else? So this is like the official closing of our residence in PAF. Like together. What?
Remark, like wrap up of the residency.
Like to summarize what happened.
Yeah, or what did you discover? Or
yeah, sure. Like yeah. What do you feel? Like, how do you feel? How was it? Like, we are back to the dance circle.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. We're back to the contemporary dance circle.
Circle moment. Maybe I can ask the tarot.
Oh, cool. There's a tarot?
But I don't know how to work with it.
Just give me one card and then give me one card.
Interpret?
Yes.
So I get one and you get... So if you get one?
Yeah.
And I get one. And maybe... because I think it's always 3, right?
I think so, like present.
So this is for the audience.
Wow, this is so...
Yes,
oh my god, but this is... I hope this is English. No, this is français. C'est terrible. Non.
So for me it's... Song to pick Judy. Obsession.
Oh non. Non, c'est pas possible.
So I have this
sword.
like sword. 5 swords.
Wow. This is like the Spanish cards. Like that's called baraja española. This, I mean, just the drawings. But it comes with an explanation. This is incredible. Yeah.
Dans la vie, d'idées fixes en supposition gratuite. Whatever.
J'ai pas compris. J'ai pas comprendre.
But I think, I think it's nice card for.
Mine is a 3 of bastons.
What is this? Okay. 3 de bâton.
3 de bastos. 3 de bastos.
What do you feel about it?
But can't speak. No.
For me, I don't know.
5 swords.
5 swords.
What does it mean? What does it mean?
They have a lot. Okay, because it depends on the site as well, so they have different explanation.
Yeah.
That's why. Okay.
Yeah, they're too.
I forgot which side it was, to be honest. But I know, but I started reading on this side. So it was actually facing up. So that's good.
Is it good? I don't know.
I don't know. It's good. I interpret it as something good. I mean, we can play it without the description, right? You just have to interpret it by yourself somehow. So that's that. And for you, is this? Maybe actually I don't see it, and then I just show it to the camera, and it's up to you how you interpret.
For the people.
For people, yes. For you watching it.
For you.
You.
And you.
And I will not see it until I don't edit the video. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't edit the video. I just upload it like that. Yeah, but like, I think it's nice that it's not like we didn't get like an emperor or something. So it's I feel like this. It was like a step, but it's not like we ended somewhere. It's not like something magnificent.
Sorry. What?
The cards I'm talking about. I don't know what you got. But
Naoto is talking about cards.
yeah, like it's not like something that's boom. So it's we just made it another step.
With the cards.
Yeah, because it's not like a king or emperor or something like that.
Ah, okay, I see what you mean. Yes, that's actually.
And we will come back. Or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will have more steps in the future in this project. Well, not a project, but framework.
Framework. Work to frame.
Try not to say it. Yeah, it's also like funny, like this word project. Like I always say this word, but at the same time, like it's just weird.
Yeah, it feels like within project there is this labor there. That's how I feel about it. I mean, a project is something that I have to do for the school. That's how I feel. That's a project.
Yeah. And also, like, I think one of the Martin's video, like he was saying, like no one finishes artwork or something like that. No one finishes a piece. What to do? Like, I'm working on a project, and then because I think what's funny is because he says something like what you mean by project is that you go to a cafe and work on the laptop. That's like the working on the project. So I think it's nice we have framework that can,
Framework is so cool because this idea of the container inside of the container, which is very much about like that's web design at the core. For those who don't know, but it's you have to front end, the way how you're drawing, there's just blocks. There are just boxes that you need to draw. You need to understand everything that you see in the web are just blocks. So like, do a favor to your code, the stuff for the developers, and just draw boxes.
Yeah. So you have Vue.js, React, Svelte, best practices. That's the framework.
Yes, yeah, it is. Indeed.
NPM install best practices.
Oh man, we still have. Wow. But yeah, this best practice could be a package. No, but no.
Probably it exists.
Best practices.
I don't know, maybe.
Check.
I'm gonna check.
If not, then we just have to work. Like then you have to upload it to NPM. If not, nobody's used that name yet, right?
we can make a best practice in contemporary dance without space or.
You just put a hashtag. You just put a string for now.
So best practices.
Just that.
Without space.
Without space, without like just all together, no capital or nothing.
No exact match. No. there's something called eslint-config-best practices.
No.
But that's...
No. We should just create that to claim that space before it's gone.
True.
Like just to put a like string, anything, inside.
Oh no, but there's best dash practices.
Really?
But the description is weird. A package using versioning best practices.
But
8 years ago, version 0.0.0.
Wow, thank you for taking that. That maybe that was the two guys like you and me working, and they thought at some point, oh, let's just take the space because we're gonna make a package, and they never did it. So maybe if we do that, also will happen. We just take the space for the next ones. Wow, imagine this. This is pretty much like Rick and Morty. I'm obsessed with Rick and Morty and dimensionality these days. That's what makes me happy. And then it's jumping constantly dimensions. So then imagine, because it makes somehow sense, like it was you and me in another dimension somehow. That after this meeting, they said like, let's claim the space. And so like just best dash practices, and just put whatever inside and say like, we're gonna just work on that, but they just leave it. And now we are here after 10 years in another place, and then we are saying this
It's already claimed.
It's already claimed that one, but then we are saying, okay, let's just use the one without. So altogether best practices, and we just put whatever, and the next 10 years, another you and me will open and say like, oh, maybe best practices in contemporary dance. And let's put whatever, and then we just work, but we never work.
But in the end, we never work.
No, that's what I meant. Like these ones that 10 years ago, the version is 0.0.0.1. What was the versioning?
0.0.0.
It was 0.0.0. So even they didn't fix a bug. They didn't even fix a bug.
Because it's the best practices.
They didn't even fix a fucking
best
bug.
practices. There's no bug.
They didn't even
It's
fix
just
a
the
fucking
best
bug.
practices.
It's just 0.0.0. Man.
It doesn't even have a readme.
My
Imagine.
God, they just claimed space.
Exactly. This user called
Jesus.
Magnific Mail.
Magnificent mail.
Mail like an email mail.
Ah, okay.
Not white mail.
Wow, I thought
That would be
like
like
magnificent white mail. Wow. Magnificent white mail.
That's something. That's
Wow.
even bigger than best practices. It's like
Jesus Christ.
wow.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Magnificent white male user. Thank you. Yes.
So wait, but we are just like diverging. This is like we have to focus. Like so we have been here for 10 days.
Yes.
Right?
And we've been like traveling for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Like 2 weeks. This is the longer period that we have been sharing space. It has been nice, man. Cool. Like the SN was great. Also the conditions that we have are like so good, you know. The SN was great. The festival was amazing. People was great. It was good. And also we went home. You have your space also there. I had the time also to recover. Thank you. By the way, I never told you. Eva was really glad. No, she was very grateful when I talked with her when we arrived here or something the day after. She said to me like, thank you for cleaning the space. And so she said to me, and I said like, yeah, of course that was not me. Like, I mean, when I leave the space, if I travel, I will clean somehow. But this, I mean, she will never say like, thank you for cleaning the space. I guess the way how you really make sure you really clean. It was like proper. So this message is the second time for Julia, and that Naoto left the space cleaner than how he found it, because even my couple, she realized and she acknowledged that she thought she never said that to me. when I leave space. And she said like, she was really like saying like, oh, thank you for like, you know, that for her it means like that I care. And then I said like, yeah, love, it wasn't me, obviously. And they said, yeah, I thought so. Yeah. So she said like, anyway, tell Naoto, thank you for that.
Thank you for saying.
Yeah. So yes, we were there at home, and then after we came to Puff. After a journey, such a journey, we started.
Now we can laugh about it. I mean, well, yeah, when we get the money, we can laugh about it.
Yeah, because now we're in the process, in the legal procedure of getting 80 euros back.
80.
80.
It's not 80 euros. 80 euros. Or actually, close to 90. Actually.
Jesus Christ, man, not cool. Not cool. This MBS. Not cool Belgian trains.
And by the way, I had so many problems with this SNCF, the French train company. The website is awful. For some reason, if I connect from Puff's Wi-Fi, it's like at one point it's getting blocked.
Yes?
It's just terrible.
Maybe they know again this IP address. That IP address is from that place. Block them.
So I had to like connect to the cellular network.
And then it works.
And then it worked.
Yeah, it happened to me also when I tried to do the same. You know how I bypassed that in my computer, then I used a VPN from my school. Then it works.
I see. I should set it up. Yeah.
But then some pages they won't open because it's not safe, basically. Because there is this conflict. That whoa, this is somebody in between. So don't give bank information, blah blah blah. And I cannot open the page, basically.
Yeah.
Like I'm using a VPN to watch Rick and Morty, because Netflix in France doesn't have Rick and Morty.
Oh, it's tied to where you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you can travel and you can still use Netflix. Right?
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, but then the content will change drastically. Yeah.
Interesting.
And anyway. So going back to we have been traveling for quite some time, and then here we have been working a lot. At the same time enjoying life, and I think it was great that feel very happy that you could come here and experience something that you cannot tell. Because it's just you have to experience the space and also take the time, and you took the time to be here. So like for instance, if you compare your first days with the last days, you're in that different dynamic with the space and your agency within the space, with the people, food, like work, health, all these things.
Totally. Yeah.
And these things, you cannot really like. That's why PAF always have been like close with the idea of a documentary, because of that. Like sometimes the people come here say like we would like to do a documentary about PAF, and always the
refuse.
Yeah, that's more like Jan always has like he don't like the idea because of that, because the documentary has a gaze, and that's something that
it's very opinionated.
Exactly.
Yeah. What if someone comes to us and they want to do best practice documentary?
Whatever, man. Like visibility, all in. Like even if somebody wants to come to just like speak bad about it, I gladly invite somebody to criticize it also. Like anything that is just like it's a proposition to. Actually, I mean, to be honest, like what I would really appreciate is if somebody would like to communicate with us, you know, like so if you guys want to speak, or you know, like would be nice. Just basically, I think the idea to publish these videos is like, as we said in the research, is since there is not so much documentation about dance and technology or digital dance, it's basically to give a space for a conversation, or to initiate some dialogue, some communication.
Do you want to listen to my paragraph?
Yes, sure.
Wait a second. I mean, that's what we used in the creative applications. This is because there's a paragraph about that. I mean, like we wrote together, and I think I converted somehow, like framed more into like specific thing about it. You can read it on
creativeapplications.net. Is that net? Right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Best practices in contemporary dance is a queer form of conversation, blah 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 blah. Okay, there's a history of dance tech since the 20th century, from Oskar Schlema to Merska and Nam June-paik to today's notable figures such as Maria Judova, Choi Ka-fai, Viola Claire, Raphael Hilbrand, to name a few, and maybe you. Nevertheless, us believe that the field of dance tech is still in its early days. Rather than using technology as a service for dance piece, or vice versa, coders, artists, dancers, and choreographers need to develop a vocabulary to accommodate technological flesh and embodied code as a practice. Then dance tech will no longer be an interdisciplinary collaboration, but become a discipline in itself. I'm really proud of this line. By publishing practice and chat videos, we contribute to a wider audience in the community to stimulate practice-based approaches.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think like the idea like is like to stimulate basically that dialogue.
Exactly.
So but why we were saying this? Because of the labor, because of the work that we did. Like so we have been here, and I think how many chats did we did in this time?
During this residency.
Yeah.
So I found actually with this video, I think it's 11 videos in total, like chat and practices. So
and we did just 1, 2, 3 practices.
3 practice performances. So like 8, I think.
8 chats.
Chat. Yeah.
Wow. And we have been here 10 days.
Yeah.
Wow. So there was just only 2 days that we did not chat.
But you know what? Like 10 days for me, like it's including the day we arrived, which is actually already the next day we came here.
Yeah.
Like it was like midnight around.
Yeah.
Right? And then 10 days also including tomorrow morning. So in fact, it's like 8 full days.
So it's actually 1 per day.
Yeah, if you average it.
If you average, wow. So I guess some days we did more than 1 time. Yeah. There was sometimes
we did like twice, like quite often.
Ah yeah, wow. That's a lot of labor. We work a lot.
And of course there was
incredible.
You know, like you might not notice, but we actually talk while the camera is not rolling.
Yes, yeah, we talk. But sometimes it becomes weird because we cannot speak freely. Because don't talk.
No, there's no freedom of speech. Like I was
so
like, this I want to say, but
no, don't say it yet. Don't say it yet. Wait. Or when people ask us sometimes, like when we just did the performance and they want to ask something, and then we just answer, no, we cannot do it now because we want to do it in the chat first.
Such a weird thing.
Yeah, true.
This always reminds me, like I say it all the time, this Chinese garden in Frankfurt where we often go from, Mozonturm where the node venue was, like, this nice park nearby in this Chinese garden, and that's where we, have the chat without camera. So
I feel like Puff. I feel actually like Puff is like the Chinese garden.
Yeah, true.
It's the way how I feel.
True.
Yeah. Puff was like the whole Puff.
Yeah. It's the extension.
Yeah.
If you find a portal in that Chinese garden.
Like Rick and Morty, portals. They have portals. They throw portals.
And the Chinese garden is, of course, there's a gate, so maybe that's where we enter Puff.
Wow! Maybe there is really hidden somewhere. Wow!
You can go back to the Chinese garden. Maybe.
Yes, maybe there is somewhere here, man. Maybe one of the books, if you really move it, it will just open. And there is a green stuff like in Rick and Morty, like green flashy thing, like with a twirl. Like, wow, maybe one of these books really will open something. Wow. Oof, there are many books. Many options.
Yeah. there are different libraries. So we'll
Wow.
see. It would be nice to go back to Frankfurt for Node.
But I think it's still gonna be Node. Maybe next year they will do a
Hopefully.
Node.
Node 2022 would be nice.
Right.
Yeah, I'm curious about how. Yeah, also Node was like New Now was really like pushing this queer aspect, but I think Node is also trying to push that as well. Like aside from like this VVV community, I think it's kind of interesting balance because VVV is really like nerdy.
Super nerdy. I mean, because that's not like that's the thing that I understood like in time that like those designer like he's like people who are nerd. I mean, it's like it's a different vibe. Like in VVV are like just nerds. You really it's just nerds. It's low level computing. So you really need to understand code.
Yeah, it doesn't even say it's a visual whatever. It says like multi-purpose toolkit.
Yes, exactly. I think that's what it's called. It's a multi-purpose toolkit. Voila, that's the Swiss knife and that's the Swiss knife description.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Node. If you're watching, please invite us again.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't know where the next destination is, but
As we will see each other in Belgium.
yeah.
Because I want to meet these people also.
Yeah.
Because it will be good also for the future.
Yeah, we'll
like
try
for
to
work.
we'll figure out.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be like short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for work, I guess will be. I mean, in same space, I guess will be in Germany. In January. Yes.
Yeah, at the choreographic coding labs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And also like
But also like when you're coming back from Japan in December, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, perhaps.
But I think not like physical space, same physical space, but what I really wanted to push is this idea of like me being at YCAM in Japan, the Yamaguchi Center for Arts and Media. I'm planning to visit there. We're in touch, and like I hope to do something there. Hopefully, a practice while you're in Motion Bank, because they also want to do something together. So I think we can be the, ambassador. Well, besides all these political things, I think it's nice to do a practice between Germany and Japan at some point. Germany or Belgium, whatever, Europe.
Yeah.
That would be quite interesting, ambitious.
Yeah, actually, I'm looking forward to just go back to the sandbox.
Yeah.
Like
Do it online also.
Yeah. Just go back to the good old days. That's so nice, man. That is so cool.
Yeah, nice thing is we can always go in and out. So now we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like 1 year ago we were about to meet.
One thing we meet like it was in October. Like it was like the first like this 5th of October or something like that.
What's the presentation it was showing? Maybe something like that. I think because Node started on 2nd
of October.
Yeah.
Maybe we met like 28th of.
I mean, I was there from like a few days before the festival, and you came around time when it was opening.
Yeah, the day before it was open.
Yeah, so probably like
28.
almost 1 year ago. Because today's 29th, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
1 year ago, yes.
Yeah.
So many things, and now we have a business plan. with numbers and stuff.
Exactly. Please call us. Please write to us if you have projects. If you want to have music video. If you want interactive web page. I don't know. Whatever. If you want to do practice, please let us know. I mean, it's not just business.
Well, with something that I'm thinking like now is like, because I was thinking like maybe we should just like kind of like lay out these things that we made in a proper way and then put it in a website for business. But at the same time, I was thinking like, say that we put this like we presented it and we kind of like send it to some VIPs just kind of opening something, so testing something. But then I thought, like, what if actually we just get like right away some response for people that, oh, you know what? Yes, I would like to make a website or something, and like, I'm busy. Like, you're busy also. Like next year also you will be busy.
That's
But
the thing.
that's tricky because at the same time,
Then we can never start.
then we can never start. Yeah, and it's the same thing then with the personal things with my personal life. I have this conversation with Eva. Then, but it's true, like because I'm kind of like saying like now is not the best moment because I have just this time, and then in January, and then this, and then that. But it will be like this always.
But I won't say. I mean, it's not something I should say in front of the camera. But that's why I frame it. You know, this would take 3 months, for example. Like this project, this package of installation, even like website, it would take 3 months.
But like what I think is like in my workflow, that's something there's conflict. It generates a conflict in the way how I work because like I see that at the same time you're working on different things. You split your day and you can do different things. When I work, like for instance, when I work with Marco, when I work with you, then I just put all my time there. So that's something that already I see like that could be conflictive, but I guess this is just a matter of habits.
No, I don't know. Like, okay, so what I would say is I frame it to 3 months, but like real working time is probably less than 1 month. So that's why we can somehow, you know, shuffle, juggle, and fit the schedule. Like that's why like it's contingency. I shouldn't say it in front of the camera because then if you're watching your clients, you would say, yeah, then you can do it in 1 month and you can pay, you know, a third of the price. And that, but that's not how it works in business, right? No. So, for example, if it's an installation and if you know, if someone asks us right now, we can still, if we want to, if we can manage it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, that's why I frame it like that.
Yeah, okay, no, it makes sense.
No. Maybe we just like try it.
Yeah, because
nice.
because we have the document, we have just to lay out. Yeah. Then actually, then I kind of start like, then I can design something or propose something, and then just we put it in some skeleton.
Yeah. What if we get like all these offers from Colombia and Argentina and Japan? You have to pay the travel expense though.
Wow. And
oh my gosh. What I'm saying. But we are happy people right now.
Yeah, we're happy.
That's what I want to say.
Yes. I'm really happy, yes. Okay.
Yeah, we'll just finish like as like normal because I don't want to say, you know, like big thing about, you know, wrap up. Like we did the big thing already. We're wrapping up.
A lot of work.
Residency. But yeah, please. I don't know if you have any final words. Then,
Viva la France! Viva la France because they're giving my ticket on Friday for half price.
Yeah.
Because of it was the French day. That's why I said Viva la France. It was the Day de la France. Something.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yes.
I have to pay the full price. Anyways.
Okay.
So, thank you for watching.
Thank
Please
you.
like the video. I hope you... Actually, the ones you're watching until now, most likely you're already liking the video. But thank you. Subscribe to the channel.
Share it.
Share it. Talk about it.
Talk and also like just interact, criticize.
Yeah.
Just like dialogue.
Yeah.
Dialogue. Would be nice.
And write to us.
Maybe we'll have to start like doing like drastic things in the videos for people to start thinking to really go and see it. Like maybe next time we can propose now to be naked, for instance. You know, like do something. I don't know. Like we can't. We are open always to listen ideas.
Well, so. I just thought about this, like, so because then it's gonna be banned on YouTube. So what if we upload a chat on Pornhub?
I don't think you can just upload like these things in.
No, I heard you can because there are also like amateur videos.
But yes, true. But I guess they should. What if there is no sexual content?
I don't know. But I mean, if you're naked and talking, maybe probably it's okay.
True.
Actually,
That would be so cool, like to do a chat, like and upload it into Pornhub or something. That would be so good. And the algorithm, at some point we'd receive a letter or an email from Pornhub like, hey guys, this is what are you doing? This is confusing people. So,
and then we can reply, do you want to join the chat as a guest? We always look for guests.
yes.
Okay, I think we finished. We continue after this video.
Yes, this will
Thank you
keep
for
on
watching.
going. Bye.